Hello everyone, welcome to Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 8th episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, Gold Rush. Now this is a bit more of a simplistic episode. I mean, it starts off pretty mysteriously, picking up right where the last one left off. Well, in terms of subject, timeline-wise it's supposed to be taking a few weeks after it. Because the Gold Ranger is still being mysterious, he's somewhere. But whenever he shows up, he takes out a monster trying to capture him and then disappears. And the Rangers, when they try to catch up to him, he's already gone. So of course Galvanax is trying to catch him, as well as find out who was the traitor to keep him on the ship, who we the audience already know as Madame Odious. But after sending several monsters that did not cut it, Ripcon decides to take on the job of doing it. And lo and behold, he attacks Levi Weston's signing. He's a country music star. And as it just so happens, the Rangers are there trying to get his autograph. And they also have a contest where if you dress up, you have a chance of winning backstage passes to his upcoming concert in town. Brody, however, is not impressed by this man. He don't see anything special about it. To which even the star's manager kind of scoffs at him. However, of course, guess who? Victor, Vincent, and Monty come in their own costume. A literal jackass. That was not a mistake. They're a couple of jackasses and now they look like it literally. They even laugh at a little girl who's dressed up as a fan. You know, an actual fan. With the guy's picture pasted on her front. That's kind of cute, but when the monster attacks, they just gallop away inside the costume. You even have that sound effect. It's pretty nice, but I think you're going a little too far, fellas. Especially since you never got the chance to do anything when they attacked. You're probably better off, just taking the costume off and running. Anyway, Brody helps get Levi to safety. And he was kind of surprised because he's not even a fan. Brody says, didn't help him because you're famous, you did it because you needed help. And that inspires Levi to hire him as his bodyguard while he's in town. But Brody has two conditions. One, don't treat him special, and two, get his friends some backstage passes. Pretty good deal and they agree on it. So after Ripcon gets one of his horns cut off, he retreats, and Odious mocks him for it. And after that we see our two Rangers. Unfortunately for his manager, inside his briefcase was the gold power star. So of course Ripcon gets some Kudabots and takes him into a warehouse, instead to the ship, and tries to interrogate him. And it turns out he already suspects Odious of being the traitor that hid him, and the star. But he's just acting scared and has no idea what's going on. Now while this is happening, Brody and Levi are touring the town, showing around, even introduces him to a double bacon chili burger. Oh, that sounds like a delicious nightmare that would give you and Sonic the Hedgehog a stomachache. And so it turns out the two of them, they're pretty chill with each other, and Brody says he's always going to be some uptight, snobbish celebrity, but no, he's pretty down to earth, and so you can't really judge someone until you get to know them. And Levi is saying, yeah, I like being treated normal. I hate when I keep being treated like someone special. Which is a good lesson for people young and old. Because a person who's a celebrity is still just a person. They just got really well known for doing something. A very important thing everyone should keep in mind. Now, just before he gives them the passes, Brody is called off by the other Rangers because he detects activity. Unfortunately, Levi follows him. The bad part is, it's half a trap set by Ripcon because he activates an energy net on them. Of course, Brody morphs in front of them all. Oh yeah, and they're just blindfolded. Now, even stuck to the ground, Brody's not entirely resourcefulness because he's able to use his blaster to get the star out of Ripcon's hand and also ricochet it off the metal somehow. And it frees the manager. And they urge him to use the power star, but he says, nope, I'm out of here. I don't know what's going on. It's not my problem. And so just when they're about to be finished off, because they pretty much can't do any other moves, Levi shows up and he uses it to morph into the Gold Ranger, to everyone's surprise. True, we did see the Power Star in the manager's briefcase earlier, but that was a clear red herring because they wouldn't reveal it so obviously, especially to someone who does have a bit of a snobbish personality. That's just not Ranger material. So he deactivates the net and chases out Ripcon, and they have a pretty impressive fight with him. I mean, his sword can also double as a blaster, and when he holds it, it kind of looks like a Zane in space with his Super Silverizer, the way he uses it. Oh yeah, and it's also a guitar, apparently. It even has a star on it. Of course, Ninja Star. He just went with all the references that you could think of right there. But unfortunately, Ripcon is defeated but not destroyed. He retreats angrily, and Odious is accusing him of being the traitor, and just leaves him there. Galvanax doesn't really say anything. He's not seen on screen. Of course, they're still putting on a show for Galaxy Warriors, so to that end, they, instead of Gigantifying, they send a new Skull Gator. So without any Zord of his own, Levi just joins the other Rangers inside the regular one. And they use a new ability created by Sarah, based off her hologram technology, where it creates 4 clones of the Megazord, and just slashes the Skull Gator. That weakens it, but then Brody invents a new technique. The Red Zord just jumps out the throne, or the seat of the Megazord. I still think that's kind of weird and kind of funny how they designed it that way. And it just runs on the air, running into and kicking them. It's pretty nice, but they let you have Levi just swing the saber to do the finishing move, to destroy it. Now for some reason, they do the Dino Charge instrumental theme instead of the Ninja Steel one when that happens. I don't know whether that's intentional or not. But when the Megazord was first formed and he jumped in there, he said, "Whoa, this is wild." You know how Tyler always said, "It's about to get wild," if you watch Dino Charge. Dino Charge. That's better. So I don't know if that was an actual mistake by the audio engineer or just an intentional reference. We really have no way of knowing. Now, in the aftermath, first for the console giveaway, it goes to the little girl fan. Unfortunately, Victor Vincent has returned. And this time, he is an actual giant fan. Because you pull the string on the back of it, and the blades start spinning, and it just makes him float and fly away. Poor Victor. Bulk and Skull, you two are not, but you're kind of close to Season 1 and how much you get screwed over for your own selfishness. But I really think that Monty, because he really is inventive, he invents a lot of crazy gadgets that don't have their flaws, but they're pretty unique in that they're so resourceful and all this outlandish stuff. And so is Sarah. She's pretty much an inventor that deals with machines. If he weren't stuck with Victor Vincent, he would be pretty resourceful for the Rangers as an ally. For all we know, one of them may become an ally instead of just a side comedy relief. The one thing I noticed progressively, even though we're only 8 episodes in, is that Victor and Monty are getting less and less screen time. We see them at most 2 minutes an episode. In this case, we saw them at the very beginning and the very end, and that was it. Probably just to give them a funny send-off. But more importantly, at the end of the episode, Levi gets shown into the Ranger base, and Mick has already created 2 stars for him. One that will give him power for wind and lightning, and the other that will let him call a Zord. But also, he sees in the prism a vision of what looks like a Zord, and I couldn't quite tell from the audio in the episode, but they said either Lion Galaxy or Orion. And if it's Orion, we have a good chance for a reference from Lost Galaxy here. But it did look a bit like a lion. We only saw a glimpse of it through that sphere. So my guess is we're gonna see it in the next episode. And who knows, it may be Levi's sword, or it might be for all the Rangers to call upon. It was green, so we have no idea. But that's the episode. Overall, I'd say it was okay. I mean, I have nothing to complain about, but nothing is really sticking out about this one. I mean, I found myself just getting tired towards the end of it, and I rewatched this a few times before the review. So I don't know if that's me personally, or the episode is just dull and I'm not quite picking up of where it loses me. But still, it was a nice twist to have a ranger who's a celebrity right when they start. I can't think of any instance where you had a Power Ranger that was famous at the time they became a ranger. I mean, I know some got a little popular after their times as rangers, but none I can think of that were really well known by a ton of people in universe before then. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I'd like to know. But this is definitely an important episode because we have a new ranger, some new Zord abilities, a new Zord incoming. Not only that, we see more internal strife among our villains, which is sure to develop into something. So it sets up a lot of things that's gonna play out in the future. But as for what's gonna happen next, who really knows? Probably next episode is gonna be a bit more development for Levi, and who knows what his manager's gonna do. I mean, he's a country star. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to mention how his story. When the Prism first appeared, he was going off on his own for a handful of months to write his new album. Big problem though. As soon as he grabbed a gold star, it flew off and Odious captured him and was starting to analyze his abilities in secret. So does that. Though it does make it wonder, how did he get his concert set up so quickly if he was gone until a few weeks ago? It's a mystery. And who knows, he might even delve into our next episode. But overall, this was a very passable episode. It was very solid, but at the same time, nothing that made me go, wow, amazing to me. Yet it's necessary to see because of everything it establishes for the future. So probably watch it once and then you probably won't need to again. That's my verdict on it. Anyway, I'm Jargus Zero. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the episode. Stay tuned for the near future where I'll be talking about the new 2017 Mighty Morphin movie remake. And until then, let the power protect you.